Hi everybody, it's Shao. Well, I just wanted to get on and explain a couple of things, and I know that this is like a public video because I haven't done any excuse me settings or anything like that, and I apologize for the video being a little. It looks like it's a crooked a little. I can't tell, but it looks a little crooked to me. Anyway, I hope it's not. But if so, just kind of tilt your head, maybe, and maybe that will help it. Um, but um, uh, you know, lately I've been getting a little frustrated. Nothing I can't handle right now. It has to do a lot with my health and everything. And I'm thinking that might be what's triggering my nighttime eating. Um, when I start getting worried or stressed out, um, I'm always afraid that it's going to trigger an MS, what they call a flare up, a multiple sclerosis flare up, because I have multiple sclerosis. Um, and so I try to get my mind off of things, but my body still doesn't forget. And I've kind of noticed that, at night I start getting insomnia and I don't go to sleep, and I'm on the computer or trying to read or something. I'm just kind of going, my mind is awake. And so then my body is too. I don't sleep well. I end up laying down and getting up and laying down and getting up. It goes into a vicious cycle. Um, but I think um, because when I get up, my body goes into reverts back to the way it was, and it starts saying, "Hey, it's hungry." And I used to deal with that by having some fruit handy, but lately since I got back, I haven't really done that, and then I heard that the sugars, like, because I really enjoy oranges and that kind of stuff, but the sugars in the oranges aren't really good in the middle of the night. And then I started thinking about pears, but they started getting really expensive, and so I I haven't really thought of anything. I did try like popcorn, but I'm not really a popcorn kind of person really. Um, but like anybody else, you walk into like a Target or something, and all of a sudden you just have a craving for popcorn. Sort of like walking into Costco and you smell those hot dogs, and you're like, "Hey, I want a hot dog," kind of thing. Um, so I've been trying to think of different ways where I can avoid those triggers at night, of getting up and everything. And I've noticed what I like to do, and I know not everybody does this or they don't agree, but it helps me drink my water more. Is I put like um, the peach flavored iced tea, the little stick packets, into my 33 ounce bottle of water. But maybe it's whatever sweetener they use for it, because I know the minute I drink that, I'm like, oh, I get like more hungry, because I tried drinking water thinking that would fill me up, and for some reason it just seems to flush me through, and it's like I'm still hungry, or I'm just like grazing. I feel like a cow going through a field. It's like, munching everything in sight, and then I get so mad at myself. And then, I've been thinking a lot about different things, and I'm like, I'm on break right now, and in about another week and a half, that's when I'll be done with this medication that they have me on. Um, I'll probably be set up for surgery and everything for the uterine cancer. Uh, but between now and then, it's like it's beneficial to me if I've been thinking about this, getting up, say 6 o'clock in the morning, and I know some of you are already at work and stuff by then, but getting up and walking, taking puppy for a walk and stuff like that. but I just don't have motivation. I mean, I know it's better for me if I'm going to have surgery. They say if you have a fatty liver and everything, and I'm just right now I'm really frustrated with myself. Just so frustrated. I'm trying, but I know I'm not giving it 110%. And I don't know what's holding me back. I really see everybody, in the Back to Basic group. They're just like so motivated and so inspiring. And I see everybody on these YouTube channels, and that's what I do. I watch the YouTube channels at night, and I listen and I'm learning and everything. But why can't I go from it being here to here to here? I I can't get the two to get in there. I mean, I can't get them together, and it's I I don't know. I don't know how to fix it or anything. Never had any problem with my knees or anything or walking. I love to walk, um, but you know, I think I'll be honest with you, and this is kind of hard for me. Sorry, that was my phone, not my stomach. But this is really hard for me because when I got this diagnosis of the cancer, and it's the third time. My first time was I had ocular cancer. Second time I had cervical cancer, but I was young, and they didn't want to do hysterectomy. And now 6 years later, well, I have the uterine cancer, which I know they say is really treatable, and just do the hysterectomy. Might need to do some chemo or something like that just as precaution. But I didn't even want to do that. Truth be told, I didn't want to fight this time. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of always being in the hospital. I'm tired of not going a year of my life without something going wrong. And you know what? That's not to say, I don't want it to make it sound like I'm, oh, woe is me kind of thing. I'm not doing an Eeyore day. I'm not. But when I was born, before I was born, actually, my dad, he was in Vietnam, and he got hurt. He got really, really hurt. And when they came and told my mom, she was like 7 months pregnant. About 7 months pregnant with me. And to calm her down and everything, they gave her some drugs. Well, back in the 60s, they didn't, know what long-term effects of sedatives and all that kind of stuff would do. So when I was born, I had some respiratory distress. A lot of children are born with jaundice, but I was born with jaundice and stuff. And like when I was 18 months old and getting ready, I was learning how to run and walk, and I mean I was already walking, but I was starting to run, and everything. I stopped walking, and they took me to the doctor, and they said, well, take off her shoes. They took off my shoes, and my mom says that my toes, my feet were like little purple grapes. They diagnosed me with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So I was put into Children's Hospital in Los Angeles, and I had to go into a rehab facility to relearn how to walk and everything. And so I did that. And then as I went through school, I'd constantly have chronic bronchitis and pneumonia and UTIs, and there was always something. Something was going on. When I was like around 11 years old, I had seizures, and I was diagnosed with epilepsy. They had me on medication and everything, and they had said before, there's a possibility of my not knowing how to walk again, but I did. they said that there was a possibility of me never getting off of the epileptic medication, but I did. About the same time I started suffering the epilepsy, certain things in my life changed my life drastically. And I won't go into that, but it did. It changed everything. As a teenager, and that's about the time I started gaining my weight. As going into junior high, you know how humiliating it was to have to go to school in your mom's clothes because none of your clothes fit you. That's how it was for me, and I'm sure a lot of you. I gotta hurry because it's already getting on 11 minutes. But I went through a lot of psychiatric places and stuff, counseling when I was a teenager. Then after I started losing my eyesight as a young adult, and I got diagnosed with the ocular cancer, and they enucleated, which means removed, my left eye. Then I got cataract surgery. From cataract surgery, I've had glaucoma. Then last year I was diagnosed. Well, then I had the cervical cancer. Then I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and then the optic neuritis, and now this. And I think I'm gonna have to continue this with the second video, so I'm sorry, but I will continue.